Hey, hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, 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 yeah. Can you hear me good? Can you hear me good? I got a new mic, y'all, so let me know if the mic is good. It's an Audio Technica. I just got it from Amazon. Let me know if that audio is clean and crisp. So, happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing well. My name is Kevin Marcus Miller, the Marketing Clarity Doc. Today, we're going to do a all virtual lesson 41, and we're going to be talking about cash flow. Okay. Little share screen action. Let me know if you see my screen. All right. So for those of you who have not seen this before, go ahead and look this up. I'll drop the link for y'all in the comments here. This is the cash flow quadrant. I was exposed to this a couple years back, but I didn't really study it until recently. Let me break it down. E, employee, right? So the cash flow is coming based on the amount of active work that determines your income, right? And the thing about it is these different quadrants that you see here, the truth is a lot of people are actually doing multiple of these hats or wearing multiple of these hats at the same time. Even some of our favorite, what's up, Scott? How you doing, man? Even some of our favorite entrepreneurs have admitted in interviews, if you go back and watch really closely, for example, Elon Musk, not only is he an investor, right? Not only is he a business owner, but he also has admitted to, in some circumstances, he feels like he's an employee to his shareholders because he's working like mad hours, right? And he feels that obligation, even though he's an investor, business owner, to work those hours for his shareholders. And so even at that high of a level, some people are really operating on a frequency of 1, 2, and 3 at the same time. Now, what you want to do is craft your perfect life. Okay, nothing's perfect, but your ideal life based on where your values lie. So for me personally, where I know I feel the best is this quadrant and this quadrant. Simply because this doesn't feel right for me personally and my values, and this didn't feel right for me either. And when I say feel right, it's quite a lot of things, right? Sometimes it's the way you're treated in this environment. Sometimes for people, it's that they wanted more cash flow in their life. They weren't okay. But like I said, there's so much variation. There are employees out there that make way more than business owners. So this is not an absolute. For example, $190,000 a year, right, in profit, basically your employee paycheck, basically profit, right? That amount is good for some people, and that's where they want to stay or they want to grow their salary up from there. Notice that's an attorney's starting salary for some industries. 20%, let's say you're doing 20% profit margin, right? You got a business that you've been scaling. You see where the math could get a little dicey, right? So you have to decide what's best for you, where you not only maximize your time, you're filling up your emotional bank account and align with your core values. And you're also, preferably in my opinion, this is just my honest opinion, also creating additional passive income streams. Because what happens is you can't duplicate yourself exactly, right? No one is going to ever do everything the exact same way you would do it. But you know what you can do is become an investor, right? And that's when your income does not depend on active work. So a really great example of this is let's say that, one of your buddies starts up a company and it's going to scale to 7 figures, right? And you choose to put maybe 100K into it. And then you decide you're going to take a profit percentage every month. It's not up to you to run that business. Your buddy's running the business, but you chose to provide that upfront capital. And now you have an opportunity to yield on that monthly profit. So for some people, that's a really awesome and incredible way for them to maximize their skills and what they bring to the table. Because maybe you also not only brought income or your capital to the table, you may have brought a consult or a relationship. Self-employed. Whew. Self-employed. This is a scary place to be sometimes, y'all. Let me explain why. Because it's kind of like being stuck between here and here. The amount of active work you do determines how much income you make. Just like this. Notice they're the same thing. You're trading time for money. So it's like being stuck between these. And honestly, most people get stuck here and then they shut down their business because they never made the full transition to here. Right? And that's a really scary place to be. In order to go from self-employed to business owner, you have to learn how to increase your capacity and let go of control of what happens from day to day in your business. For example, Jeff Bezos, he does not check if your Amazon order got to your doorstep correctly, or if the email copy for the funnel was exactly the way he envisioned it, right? But that's what we do as CEOs, you and I. That's what we do, right? We micromanage and we think that's a way to scale our business, but it's not. And so we need people in our life who pour into our life with honesty, right? Business owner, right? Now, there's a couple of things I want to specify here. The gentleman who made this, right? You may have read his books, right? Mr. Kawasaki, when he was explaining this, I was watching a video yesterday, when he was explaining his intention for building this quadrant here, he was explaining business owners as anyone with 500 employees, W-2 employees or more. However, for the purposes of this video, I think it's important to distinguish that you don't have to have 500 employees to be a real business owner. Because it's just not, you know what I mean? It doesn't equate, right? I know business owners with 5 W-2 employees and maybe 100 independent contractors, making millions of dollars a month. That's a real business. I think we can all agree on that, right? So just know that you don't have to, your end goal doesn't have to be 500 W-2 employees to have the dream and craft that perfect ideal life for you. It doesn't have to be that way, right? But just understand that was actually what's interesting is that was his intention when he made this quadrant. So keep that in mind. So as a business owner, your employees, right, bring that bag. Income does not depend on your active work, right? It depends on how well you build out that team, those SOPs. We've talked a lot about those things. Delegation mastery. I would always hire the person who knows how to lead with intention and delegate with clarity over the person who is 10% better at a particular skill. Every time. Every time. So as a business owner, you got to know what to look out for if you're ready to, scale that. And then that investor column. That's where we all kind of want to be, most of us, A lot of passive income, y'all. A lot of passive income, because the income has absolutely nothing to do with what you contribute. It doesn't depend on your workload or what you do in the business, right? So it's a beautiful thing, right? All righty. So I hope this was helpful. Please feel free to take a look at that link I put in the chat too. This has the whole article that I think would be really helpful for y'all. And yeah, take a minute, ask yourself, is your goal to be here, or do you want to make that transition to here? You know, and also there's nothing wrong with wanting to be here or here either. You just need to be honest about it with other people that you asked to help you. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Have a wonderful day.